Well, Alice Beer joins us now alongside Jemma Spurr. Good morning.
Morning.
Well done yesterday. Did an amazing job.
Yeah, trooper, amazing.
You were saying, Alice, that how many times have we mentioned this?
This is number 17.
17 times we mentioned this on the show. We've compiled the dossier, which was given to which was part of the evidence yesterday.
I presented this to all the MPs beforehand, before the committee, and handed it like this to Rachel Reeves, who was the chair of the committee. So they have all our information now.
And for you, and it's interesting that you said that in that VT there, that it was the fact that we've mentioned it over and over and over again that finally it caught your attention. There will be many people out there who still don't know. And what do you say to that?
Don't be ignorant about it. They've really got to check, and you know it's got to keep being reiterated over and over again so that people realise how serious it is.
Well, we heard how scary that moment was for you, walking in and seeing your tumble dryer on fire and your family are in the house and you were very close to losing absolutely everything. Yesterday, you got an apology. How did that feel?
It was... It felt really quite awkward. It's a bit too little too late. I'm a little bit soft, so I ended up feeling sorry for him. Right. I'm not sure if he did that on a, you know, if he came across like that on a purpose.
He was prompted to give an apology.
He was,
he didn't offer it up of his own back.
No.
Forced,
if he'd have pulled me to one side beforehand and introduced himself and said, look, you know, I really want to apologise for what you've gone through, but it was the fact that Rachel had said to him...
Yeah.
Well, he's got a lot of people to apologise to, that's for sure. And they did appear to be quite defensive, Alice. Their figures didn't add up. They seemed a little ill-prepared, or that's what appeared apparent.
Well, they were certainly presenting their figures in a certain way, and I agree with Jemma that the words were there. This is their head of communications, and frankly, it all comes down to their communications all the way through from the very beginning. Have they done enough to protect consumers? And no, no, no is the absolute answer. The figures were inconsistent all the way through. Back in 2017, when the committee first met, there were 1 million machines still to be modified. They've since modified 45,000, and now they're saying there's 500,000 still to be modified. These figures are ever expanding, ever shrinking. So it's sort of data guesswork. It's educated data guesswork, but it's very confusing. And when you come to figures like this, it's very important. They say there's only been 55 fires that have breached a tumble dryer, so got outside of the machine, like in Gemma's case. They didn't say how many have just stayed contained within the machine. Consumer Group Which say there's been 750 fires. Too much of a discrepancy.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we close to a full product recall on this, do you think?
Do you know what? Yesterday gave me heart because Rachel Reeves, who was chair of that committee, she was punchy. There were 6 MPs around that table. For the first time, I absolutely felt they had all really... Sometimes you go to these select committees and you're able to go as a member of the public, and you sort of feel that they're letting people slide by. This was really straight. Nothing went by Rachel Reeves yesterday. She forced that guy to apologise to Jemma. She's forcing them to publish a list of all the affected models, which they haven't
127
yet done.
127.
Yeah. Why would they not have published that? It's extraordinary.
It's 127 different models.
Different models, yes, which is confusing, and they do have something on their website which you enter your serial number and it will tell you if it's affected. But publish the list, for goodness sake. And she's said to them, you need to make more of an effort to get it out there.
How much power does she have, though?
Well, she does have a lot of power, because if she insists that this is a full recall, she can say that we don't have confidence in those modified machines. Now, it's all very well for Whirlpool to say we have full confidence in those modified machines.
Yeah.
You have Jemma sitting there who says, look what happened to me. You have the London Fire Brigade sitting there, Charlie Pugsley from the London Fire Brigade sitting there and say, we don't have confidence in the machine. You have Which sitting there saying, we've got some 35 cases of fires in modified machine and many more cases that we're investigating. We have our dossier full of people with modified machines. You cannot do anything apart from include those modified machines in the recall.
What's extraordinary, it's like you hear about a car being recalled. So you recall the car and they fix whatever the issue is, and then you take your car back home again, and then the recall gets recalled. I mean, this is the problem here, is that there's the initial fire hazard, and then you feel that you are assured and safer because you have your machine modified, and then you find out that that modification stood for nothing at all.
Yeah. Well, they only... Sorry, you carry on, because it's much more important to hear from you.
Yeah, the modification, it just, you know, you're led to believe that you can trust it and you think that everything's going to be fine, but it's not. You know, it just... it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But the other guy, sorry, I don't know his name, not Jeff, the other one.
Oh, yes, it was a technical.
He said that he still believes in that modification. He said he still fully supports it.
Which is so unhelpful.
I was so shocked.
That's Michael Farrington, I
Yes,
think,
because
who's the verification and validation
The
leader.
bit that I really don't like is after the fire happened, the Loss Justice came in and agreed to your compensation. I think it was something £11,105 to give it to you if you sign a non-disclosure agreement. I mean, it's all so cloak and dagger. It's so ugly.
Yes.
Would you? I mean, you don't have a tumble dryer now.
No.
I mean, obviously, it's a stupid question to say you'd never get a Whirlpool dryer ever again.
No, absolutely not. Not a chance.
No.
I wouldn't even trust them with a hairdryer, never mind a tumble dryer.
This has been very, very damaging for their brand. And people might say, OK, so say there is a recall, do I get a new machine? Do I get a free machine? There'd obviously be a sliding scale, even with the modified machines. If you've got a machine that is sort of 5 years old, if you've used it for 5 years, you're not going to get a full refund or a brand new machine. So, it's not going to be Christmas, but it's going to be improvement on having a dangerous machine in your house.
So I suppose the bottom line here, waiting for all this to resolve itself is never leave your tumble dryer on its own. Never leave the house or your washing machine, any of those things.
Washing machine, the most dangerous machine in your house to leave unattended. Tumble dryer second. Never dishwasher on, go to bed. Never, never, never.
And have a fire, if you've got one of those, make sure you've got a fire an appropriate fire extinguisher. Whirlpool actually say, pleased to have the opportunity to update the committee on our tumble dryer campaign. The Office for Product Safety and Standards recently concluded a comprehensive year-long review of the dryer programme, which confirmed that the modification is effective in resolving the issue. Safety is always our #1 priority. Sort of pause for you to think about all of these points, and we remain committed to resolving all unmodified dryers affected by the issue. As we updated the committee, we are expanding our recall campaign to include further options to encourage remaining consumers to come forward and remedy their unmodified appliances. The crucial message to anyone who still owns an affected dryer and has not already had it modified by Whirlpool is to contact us immediately.
How many times in the last year do you think they've tweeted on Hotpoint UK or Hotpoint Support? This is the problem with your affected machines.
Don't know.
How many times?
Barely any.
Big fat.
Nothing. Right. There you go. Thank you. Well done you for yesterday
Right.
again. We will keep you updated on this.